Hello again, YouTube. This is episode 3 of ASMR Spire. In the last episode, we finished the first of 3 phases with the Silent. We picked up the Snecko Eye for our boss relic, and throughout the run we received various relics like the Prayer Wheel, Whetstone, Blood Vial, Am Ori, Neo's Lament, and Ring of the Snake. Our deck was kept rather thin. I was very picky in what I was selecting. We got rid of 2 of our defense. 1 of our strikes got upgraded. We still have Survivor. We upgraded our Neutralize. And the cards that were added were Quick Slash, Concentrate, All Out Attack, and Flying Knee. Concentrate was selected in hopes of finding something special to make this card work. We wanted to make it a little zany and took a big risk by picking up such a bad card. Additionally, we ended the second episode earlier than we would like in order to adjust sound levels, tweak things here or there. Most importantly, our overall master volume for the game is down to 3%, with effect volume being capped out at 10% to begin with. Hopefully now, we don't hear any big hits or large whaps when fighting enemies. It might be a little too quiet this time around, and that's why after we finish the second phase of the game, we'll likely end the video and make some adjustments again. I look forward to everyone's feedback regarding the sound levels that they'd like to hear when it comes to the game's effects. I believe the volume of my voice at this point should be rather satisfactory, but again, I'd love to hear from everyone watching as I continue to improve this channel. I initially started this channel because of how much I enjoy ASMR. I'm not doing this to be a YouTube star or anything silly like that. I have a full-time career that I quite love. Really, I just want to be able to give back to the community that's given me such relaxation over the years. If you're in a position where you don't love what you do for a living, maybe tonight's the night you'll take a chance. Hop onto a website and start searching for what you're really passionate about. By no means leave a good paying job with nothing planned for the future. But I think a lot of people go to bed every night unhappy with their lives without reflecting on the fact that they didn't do anything that day to make tomorrow a little better. Enough about life advice. Let's just proceed on to the next stage of the game and see if we can win this. Act 2, the city. Well, I guess moving forward I'll refer to it as acts. Now again, we always want to go for elite fights if able, and if unable, we want to take as many unknown rooms as we can. I don't think I can pass up this path here, even if it means we miss that elite. Right now our deck isn't particularly strong because we've been picky with the cards we've been selecting. Here's an example of how Concentrate might really help us out moving forward, because the Snecko Eye allows us to draw more cards, as well as Ring of the Snake. We're going to cast all of our low-cost cards first. We will always cast Flying Knee if we're able to get additional energy. We'll Quick Slash to see what else is available. We'll Strike. And now, Concentrate gets a moment to shine as we discard 3 cards in order to gain 2 energy, allowing us to cast another strike. You may have all thought I was crazy when I took Concentrate, but I think things will work out in the end. We'll cast another strike, another Flying Knee, and another Quick Slash. We're getting a little lucky here with our moves. I think in the 3rd episode of this series, we're going to try and focus on not losing. And so we're going to defend a little more often so we can block that 10 damage. Again, Flying Knee. We'll cast our 0-cost cards. We don't have the energy to cast this anyways, so we'll get discarded. And that ends the first fight of this episode. We got 12 gold, a strength potion, and an option to add a card. Sneaky Strike is for 2 energy, and it deals 14 damage. If we've discarded a card this turn, we gain 2 energy. Thanks to Snecko Eye, we never really need to pay attention to the energy at the top, and we're more inclined to pick higher energy cards, because the likelihood is they'll be lower energy because of confusion, which is whenever we draw a card, it randomizes its cost. We've seen Deadly Poison before, so let's take a look at Sucker Punch. Deal 9 damage, apply 2 weak for 1 energy. We're going to take Sneaky Strike here. We have a few ways to discard cards from our hand through Concentration and Survivor, as well as the fact that 14 damage is quite a lot, and if we can reduce its cost, it certainly makes it worth it just to play it for that. Now we'll go to an unknown room. Oh, it's a merchant. Welcome. Here are 3 relics we haven't seen yet, and even though I can't afford them, when I watch other people play when I watch other people play Slay the Spire, when I was first learning, I was always curious to see what there was. So we're going to take the time now to read the descriptions for each. We have Ice Cream. Energy is now conserved between turns. That means if I end a turn with 1 energy left, the next turn I'll have 4. If I end it with 0 energy, I'll just get my normal 3 back. And if I end it with all 3 energy, the following turn I'll have 6. Kunai. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dexterity. And Ninja Scroll. Start each combat with 3 shivs in hand. Shivs are 0-cost attack cards, which exhaust. We also have the option for another Sneaky Strike. Cloak and Dagger, and Eviscerate. It costs 1 less energy for each card we've discarded this turn, and it deals 6 damage 3 times. Well, Concentrate might really help us lower the cost of this, but also, thanks to Snecko Eye, at a 4 energy cost, we will almost always see it at a lower cost. We're gonna definitely take this. And move on. Thank you, Mr. Merchant. We'll go to another unknown room here. You find yourself in a room filled with racks of test tubes, beakers, flasks, forceps, pinch clamps, stirring rods, tongs, goggles, funnels, pipettes, cylinders, condensers, and even a rare spiral tube of glass. Why do you know the name of all these tools? Huh. It doesn't matter. You take a look around. Let's search and find some potions. There's a weak potion, which applies 3 weak. A dexterity potion, where we gain 2 dexterity. And an explosive potion, where we deal 10 damage to all enemies. Well, I certainly want that. Dexterity is similar to strength, except it adds a flat 2 additional defense to any of our block cards. And we all know, I hate blocking. I'd much rather attack. So we're going to skip that. And weak potion applies 3 weak. While that isn't bad at all, for someone who likes to play as aggressively as me, I'd rather have the upfront damage of the fire potion and the explosive potion, as well as my strength potion. So we're going to leave these 2 behind. I quite like the sound of potions, though, when you scroll over them. Let's do that for just a moment and see if it helps anybody relax a bit. And we'll move on. We have another unknown, or we could go fight an enemy. I'm not much for fighting when I'm trying to unwind at the end of the day. So let's go to the unknown room. In front of you sits an altar to a forgotten god. Atop the altar sits an ornate female statue with arms outstretched. She calls to you, demanding sacrifice. We could provide them the golden idol, but we don't have that item. It's a relic that increases the amount of gold that drops, and you get it through other random events, but we weren't that lucky. We can sacrifice, where we gain 5 max health, but we lose 18, so it'll go up to 75, but our remaining hit points will lower down to 41. Or we could desecrate the statue and become cursed. We would get a curse called Decay. And over there, in the corner, it shows Decay, and I'll read it for you. Decay. Unplayable. At the end of your turn, take 2 damage. Now the 2 damage isn't too horrible, but what is horrible is having a card in our hand be something that we can't play. So we're going to gain our max HP and lose 18. Now I had said we were going to end with 41 health, but again, this is for ASMR, not for math. We went down to 41 HP, but because our max went up by 5, we also healed for 5. So it went from 41 back to 46. You stand on the altar and cut your wrists. As the blood spills out in sacrifice, the arms of the statue reach out and close around your eyes. Everything goes dark. You wake up a short time later, feeling a new potential surging through you. I don't think I'd feel potential if a statue grabbed me. I think I'd be quite scared. Welcome, another happy merchant. Well, we have an Eviscerate again. Costs 1 less energy for each card discarded this turn, and it deals 6 damage 3 times. With a cost of 4, we will certainly be taking this. We're going to leave. And thanks again, Mr. Merchant, for helping us out. All of these unknown rooms are just too juicy to pass up. I should mention, the more unknown rooms you go to without seeing combat, the higher the likelihood is that we will see combat through this. You happen upon a group of what look like purple fire spirits dancing around a large bonfire. The spirits toss small bones and fragments into the fire, which brilliantly erupts each time. As you approach, the spirits all turn to you expectantly. Looks like we're going to toss something into the fire. Let's offer and receive a reward based on that offer. They want something juicy, guys. What are we going to give them? We have 2 Eviscerates. We could just give them a strike, but that probably won't make them too happy. Our quick slash. Sneaky strike. Let's just throw them a strike. You toss an offering into the bonfire. Nothing happens. The spirits seem to be ignoring you now. Disappointing. I mean, a strike certainly isn't that exciting. I can't blame them. Here we have the option to go to a bonfire or a random event. I'd like to upgrade a card, so I'm going to go to the bonfire. We'll smith, and we'll take a look at our Eviscerates, which we can have deal 8 damage 3 times instead of 6 damage 3 times. It goes from 18 to 24 damage. What else can we upgrade? Quick Slash. That adds 4 damage to Quick Slash. I think we're going to do Eviscerate. And proceed. Another unknown room. No combat yet. As you continue your ascent, thick black smoke begins to billow out of the ground and walls around you, coalescing into 3 masked forms that start to speak. Another puppet of Niao, I think. Agreed. She always makes the funniest. Goodness, it's a little late to be reading. Agreed. She always makes the funnest toys. You notice an oversized grin as the third addresses you. Ignore the others. Would you like a taste of our power? If we accept, we obtain 5 apparition, but we lose 50% of our max HP. Apparitions are gaining 1 intangible. They exhaust and they're ethereal. That's a lot of things to go over. Intangible means that for as many stacks of intangible we have is as many turns as we can only receive 1 damage from an attacker. That is to say, when I'm intangible, I can only receive a maximum of 1 damage from any one source of damage. If I have multiple stacks of intangible, that's just the number of turns where that effect takes place. Exhaust, as you know, means that once the card is played, it disappears for the rest of that combat. And ethereal means that if I do not play the card on the turn it's in my hand, it will exhaust on its own at the end of my turn. Losing 50% of our max HP is quite a lot, so we're going to refuse this offer. How disappointing. You will join us sooner or later. Ha 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 ha. The shapes fade away, leaving only the unnerving laughter ringing in your ears. It's time to take a treasure, but which one? Well, I'm left-handed, so I think I'll take the one on the left. Frozen Egg. Whenever you add a power card to your deck, it's upgraded. And now we get to add a card to our deck, thanks to the prayer wheel, where non-boss chests always contain cards. Maybe one of them will be a power. Goodness, one of them is. Accuracy. Shivs deal 5 additional damage. But I don't have any way of obtaining shivs. There's Blade Dance Plus. Add 3 shivs to your hand. Well, that would be nice. And then Dagger Throw. Deal 9 damage, draw 1 card, discard 1 card. The issue with all of these cards is their cost is so low. And with Snecko Eye, low-cost cards typically will cost more, and I'll be less inclined to play them because of that. The cost of a card usually has a relationship with the power behind it, so we want to start seeing high-cost cards and avoid the lower ones. We'll go to a bonfire, and we'll smith our second Eviscerate. And now we have a fight with an elite. Book of Stabbing. He's a tough one. First we'll defend, and we're going to use our strength potion here. See if we can get out of this one alive. We'll neutralize to weaken him, and we'll eviscerate to deal the most damage we possibly can. End our turn. Every time Book of Stabbing deals damage to us, he adds a wound to our discard pile. Wounds are just unplayable cards, and they'll jam us up. Here we play all of our 0-cost cards. And, oh goodness, we'll play another Do I want to play a defend, or do I want to play eviscerate and strike? Eviscerate is going to deal 30 damage, and defend is going to block another 5. Let's gamble and eviscerate. See if we can get this guy down quickly. I do have a fire potion and an explosive potion, so as soon as I get him down to 30 health, he can be taken care of. We're going to cast Eviscerate again. Neutralize. Little sneaky strike. Do I want to take 5 damage to save myself a potion? I think I do. Oh. I don't think I want to take 10 damage though. So let's throw that potion and get him out of here. We'll get 29 gold, an ancient tea set, Whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 extra energy and a card. We have well-laid plans. At the end of your turn, retain up to 1 card. Tag or Spray, deal 4 damage to all enemies twice. And Bane, deal 7 damage. If the enemy is poisoned, deal 7 damage again. Once again, all of these are low-cost cards, so I think we'll avoid them and just move on. Now, we have a rest site before another elite, and I think we actually are going to rest up quite a bit. Now we've got 60 health going into the next fight. We want to prioritize elites because they give us these relics which make our character much stronger. Here we go. We're going to neutralize the guy in the back. Defend. We're going to quick strike to draw. Sneaky strike. And all out attack. What cards do we have on the way? We have our Eviscerates. And that's it for now. I think we're going to use this potion to get the guy in the back. We could have spent less energy hurting him, but knowing that we were going to use the 20, but I've just made that decision now. We've been weakened, and the Taskmaster has added a wound to our deck. Let's see. We know Eviscerate will deal 18 damage. We're going to cast this Defend no matter what. We're going to use Flying Knee no matter what. We'll weaken him. And then we'll cast Eviscerate. Let's strike again. And unfortunately, everything costs quite a bit. We'll quick slash in hopes of drawing something that only costs 1 or 0. There we go. And we'll end our turn. Now if we had that ice cream relic I showed you before, that 1 energy would have carried over. We're going to quick slash. Eviscerate. And end our turn. We're going to strike and end the fight. Our rewards are 35 gold, a blue candle, which, playing a curse, will make you lose 1 HP and exhaust the card. Blue candle allows us to play curses. Energy potion, and a card. We're going to skip all of these again because their costs are so low. This is just a normal standard fight. These are birds. Spelled a little funny. Bird. They have flight. Flight reduces attack damage taken by 50%, but it's cancelled if it's dealt attack damage 3 times in 1 turn. That means moves like Eviscerate will knock them to the ground immediately. So let's do that. We'll strike. Sneaky strike. End our turn. Here we'll play our 0-cost card. Do we have anything that allows us to discard besides concentrate? No, we do not. One, two, three. I should have used my energy potion instead. Well, this will be easy though. Knock him to the ground and wipe him out. We'll get our 17 gold, a fire potion, and a 3-cost card. We'll get to that in a moment, but we've got Poison Stab, deal 5 damage, apply 3 poison, Piercing Wail, all enemies lose 6 strength for 1 turn, exhaust, and then Wraith Form. Gain 3 intangible at the end of your turn. Lose 1 dexterity. Since we never cast block all that often, dexterity means very little to us. Intangible, however, means that for 3 turns, our enemies can only deal 1 damage to us. And it's typically 3 energy because this is such a powerful card. But thanks to Snecko Eye, we might even get it for 0 energy. So we're definitely going to take this. What would you guys, what would everyone have done if I didn't take the 3-cost card? I've been skipping cards over and over again, citing the fact that their cost was too little. We're here to relax, not get you guys worked up. That would have been a firestorm. We could upgrade a card, but since we're about to fight a boss, and I'd really like to complete a full round of this game by going through all 3 acts, we're going to rest, heal up a bit, go into the boss fight with 46 health. This boss is the Bronze Automaton, or Automaton. We're going to use our Flying Knee and cast all of our 0-cost cards. We're then going to cast Eviscerate and end our turn. He summoned 2 minions called Orbs. This guy's going to cast a negative effect on us, and this one will deal 8 damage to us. This negative effect is that they take a card out of our deck, and he holds on to it until he feels like giving it back. We're also going to take 14 damage plus 8, so it'll be a total of 22 damage. I'd rather not get hurt for that much, so I'm going to go intangible. And here, each attack will only deal 1 damage to me. So since he's attacking twice, he'll deal 2 damage, and then 1 damage. We're also going to defend, so I don't take any damage at all. He took a strike from me, but that's not terribly important. Now this is one of the downsides to having Snecko Eye, is now I can't play much of anything at all. We'll drink our energy potion and cast Flying Knee. We need to get the damage out, and at least this way, part of that energy potion sort of carries on over with the effect. We're going to quick slash, strike, eviscerate, sneaky strike this guy in the back, and cast Flying Knee again. Thankfully, our intangible is still keeping us safe. I may have cast it a little too soon, though. Oh, I believe we just lost. Probably could have played that a little better. Defeated. Went the wrong way. Here it shows us what points we accumulated. We climbed 33 floors for 165 points. We had 7 enemy encounters for 2 points each. In Act 1, we killed 3 elites for 30 points. In Act 2, we killed 2 elites for 40 points. We defeated the first boss for 50. We defeated an elite without taking damage for 25. And since we're on Ascension 1, we get 5% score per Ascension level. All in all, I could have made better choices for this run. We did get several weak relics that never really helped us. Amamori, Prayer Wheel, and Blue Candle. We'll go to the main menu. And instead of starting another run, we'll just discuss the game a bit more. So that way, on episode 3, or what will be titled episode 3, we don't need to explain as much. In the compendium, we can look at our card library. Blue is currently locked and is in early access. These are all of the cards that are marked as red, which means the Ironclad can play them. Maybe going through all these would be a little much at the end of a video. I can at least scroll slowly so that way those who are particularly interested can read them all at their own volition. There we go. These are everything for the silent. Would have been nice to see some of these cards in our last run. And then colorless cards you buy from the merchant or you get from random events. There are also status cards that enemies will put into your hand. And then curses, which we've mostly avoided, are listed here. You get these from random events, or depending on the blessing you take at the beginning from the three-eyed whale. Also, Ascension level 10 will put this into your hand, well, into your deck. But we won't be doing Ascension runs until much later in this channel's lifetime. I'm going to go back to something I might have mentioned at the beginning of this video, where I just want to encourage my viewers that if there's something in your life that's stressing you out, maybe it's the reason why you go to ASMR to fall asleep. Maybe you've never taken the time to think about why you feel tense. Take a moment and think of a small step that you can take to relieve yourself from that stress. Maybe it's a coworker you don't get along with. Maybe it's that you feel that the job you're doing isn't contributing to something larger. In the case of the coworker, if you can't distance yourself from them, work with what you have. Try and be pleasant. Treat people the way you'd like to be treated. And I know a lot of people, when they're younger, think that they need to be contributing to something larger. They have a sense of anxiety about what they're doing with their time. I've heard the term quarter-life crisis being used. Not so much a midlife crisis, but you're young and you're out of school, and you think that you need to influence the world in some way. Take a moment and realize that you do influence the world. Maybe not on a global scale, but for those around you, your loved ones and the people that you yourself love. Take the time and realize that there are actions that you can do today for you to feel that sense of accomplishment. Make them smile. Help a stranger. Do what you can so that when you look in the mirror in the morning, you can feel confident that you were a better person today than you were yesterday. I want to thank you again for watching my videos, and I'd like to thank my subscribers. I always appreciate the support, and any comments that you can give me on how you'd like me to improve my channel, please let me know. I'll respond to any comments below, with the exception of anyone who comments on what I should have done in-game. Because again, remember, the purpose of these videos isn't to min-max the game or to make the best plays, but rather just relax. I hope you all have a great evening, and I look forward to making more videos for you. This is ASMRspire, saying goodnight.